So Eden has stolen a mother plant seedling, which is a horrible, horrible idea. Seriously, you're just jumping in some trash? Does it live up to your expectations? Because to me, it looks like a junky place full of people wearing bags on their heads that have nothing really to offer us beyond what we already have. So could you just stop?
Hello from the void, it's Rose. Welcome back to my channel and 2023. I cannot believe another year has gone. I can't believe I got sick again, putting the hag in haggard. This is the face that 2 months of pretty much consecutive illnesses, the latest flu, will give you. But despite my plan to pre-record loads of stuff on my channel over Christmas failing, I have managed to get together an episode of my Poison Garden Challenge for you. Now, we are going to be playing with the twins as teenagers for the first time, which is pretty exciting. Thank you for the sweet feedback about their teenage appearances. It means a lot to me. Any time anyone gives me a little thumbs up or leaves a comment makes my day. So thank you to everyone who did that. I think today we're mostly going to be grinding skills, maybe going to Strangeville, and I have some ideas about how we might spice things up now the twins are older. Shall we go do it?
It is our first time playing with officially teenaged Kyrie and Callow, which is super exciting for me, not for them. Being older means that they are going to be taking on a fair chunk of Eden's chores so that she can sleep to catch up on her nights spent in Strangeville, but also work on her herbalism, because I do want to try and max that before we finish up her generation, in line with the goals and whatnot. And so for these two, it's going to be a pretty grindy teenage life, but I think they're both maybe hoping that things will be a bit different now they're older. For Callow, he's definitely going to be hoping to have more freedom, maybe the chance to get off the lot more, maybe the chance to see more of the world. And for Kyrie, I think she just wants a little bit more harmony in her life. So she got the romantic trait when she aged up to teenager, and for now I'm taking romance not as a literally she wants to find herself a boyfriend. I don't think that has crossed her mind, but romanticizing the kind of life that she thinks they should be having. So if Callow and Eden could just get on, then they could really enjoy being here together and their cute little environment they've built and their chicken friends and their lovely garden, all the things that she's really appreciative of. They could be less angry about or weirdly defensive of, like, can't we just get along? And I feel like as a teenager, she's just perhaps going to pick up more of the work to try and make it work. You know, doing the chores, even though she's squeamish and doesn't really enjoy stuff like the endless grind of laundry. It's something that she can contribute and fall into that classic teenage trope of being like, if I work hard enough, I can fix the people around me who I definitely can't fix. So that's going to be Kyrie's little plot arc we're going to explore with her. Meanwhile, Eden is continuing to explore that same old plot arc we've been doing for a while, which is making a crap ton of vaccines. I'm going to pretty much supercut through bits like this because it is the same thing over and over again. But on this particular visit, I did happen to notice there was the option to attempt to swipe this plant. So Eden has stolen a mother plant seedling, which is a horrible, horrible idea. But I feel like she'd maybe want to take one home to experiment on, see if it has any power outside of Strangeville, with the added bonus of showing her children that there are indeed big scary things like evil plants that have vanished out of our inventory. Oh well, we found it in debug, so we've got one. And we're just going to pop this here and we are going to run some tests. We're going to run it against our herbology reading. I keep calling it herbology, not herbalism. And we are going to use it to show our children, one in particular of our children, how big and ugly the world is. And Kyrie is the first one to clock on that her mum is doing something weird to a particularly ugly plant. And she's already feeling kind of uncomfortable, so she's definitely going to be like, what's going on? Why is this plant in jail? Where did you even get a tiny plant jail from? It's the apocalypse. And then Callow has come to join the party and he's like, what's going on here? And Eden is going to give them both a lecture about their responsibilities to the tune of, I keep telling you that there's crap out there in the world and I am fighting something that looks a little bit like this but about 300 million times bigger and it wants to eat us. So you are going to help me keep an eye on this. You are also going to be training me to help defeat it and I don't want to hear any questions, which is absolutely going to backfire because Callow is like, well, if you didn't want questions, why would you bring it here? Also, it doesn't look that big and scary to me. Sure, looks weird, but there's a lot of weird looking plants in our garden and Kyrie's trying to talk her mother down from another full-on argument because she just wants to live in peace, and if there's one more plant she has to take care of or keep an eye of or do whatever it is her mother thinks the plant is going to do, she's like, whatever. It's just one more plant. I can deal with one more plant. What I cannot deal with is one more argument in this particular moment. We've got weeding to do, so kiddo, you're gonna just keep doing what you do best, which is keeping the peace and keeping the plants alive. I am also thinking about adding the flower arranging skill into Gen 2 based on Frolicking Gnomes' suggestion. Thank you, Morgan. I think that is very cool. But we'll talk about that later. For now, we are having a fragile but maybe slightly tense engagement at the breakfast table. I bought Callow a journal to get some of his feelings out. That seemed sensible. Also because now he is a teenager, he can't play with any of his toys or his dollhouse, which used to be his main ways of sort of escaping. So this is going to be his new method of escape. Kid, seriously? You're just jumping in some trash? Your sister is literally bending over backwards to get all the chores done, and you are not helping at all. You are just dancing in trash like a horrible little goblin, and I didn't even tell you to do that. Kyrie is having a little moment to herself, gazing at the clouds, maybe escaping into a quieter, more peaceful place. Later in life, she is going to be getting involved in the wellness skill, so I kind of wanted to have her have some little moments of zen in any way that she can whilst living this life. Now, the overwhelming feedback you guys gave on my last video was that you thought Eden would take both kids to the Finchwick Fair this weekend, but for her, she definitely doesn't trust Callow at the moment. He's definitely been acting out, he's not been holding up his end of the chores, so I feel like she's going to give him the opportunity to prove himself and maybe show that he can be trusted to not take things further than sensible. But at the moment, they can't even have a civil conversation. I tried to just get Eden to discuss some of the rules, and he's just like, ugh, I can't believe you want me to do even more things. You've already ruined my life by making me stay here. And he's gone out to complain to his sister, who is trying to fix the washing line. Didn't even know these things could break, by the way. They can. And she's like, cool, great, more things for you to complain about. Have you ever considered just getting on with things? It could be worse. We could be dead. And he's like, yeah, but there's probably dinosaurs and stuff out there, and bears, and other interesting things that we won't ever find out about if we just stay in the compound. She's like, cool, well, I'm gonna water my plant, get my responsibility up, which seems as good a time as any for Eden to say, right, son, the gate's open, meet me at the edge of the ridge. And so for the first time ever, Callow is kind of being allowed outside the fence on his own, and let's be clear, he's not going far. But I was thinking, Eden always used to run around and do the collectible hunt, and then we would take things over to Squatter Ruins to sell. But because she's been so busy inside raising children, building skills, she hasn't been able to do that. And so I feel like maybe as a sort of concession, but also a test, she would say to Callow, right, well, you can take over this job that I used to do. Your sister's quite happy, but you're not, you want to do more, so show me that you can be trusted. You can go out and harvest all the wild plants out here, dig up the rocks, collect the frogs, do all of the stuff, and if you can do that reliably, if you can prove to me that you can follow the rules, I'll show you where the stuff can be sold, and that can be something you can do. That can be your first little taste of freedom, and then we can talk about more. Maybe. So we are going to go back over to Squatter Ruins, where we have not been, I think, since pretty much the babies were very, very small. And obviously it's literally directly opposite the house. We just have to go through the load scheme. So Callow's probably going to be a bit underwhelmed, like, seriously? Like, all the hype? We can literally see this from our house. And she's like, yeah, but you don't understand how this works. You have to leave a tribute that is worth more than anything you're selling. Then you can trade your crap with people in charge of the area, and you don't mess with these people. You make sure you give them something worthwhile. You make what you can. You maybe see if there's anything else you want to trade for. And I do have a couple items I want to get. So in the story, that is how we're going to get hold of them. And Kyrie's very much like, this is it, bro. Like, this is the big wide world you were so excited to experience. Does it live up to your expectations? Because to me, it looks like a junky place full of people wearing bags on their heads that have nothing really to offer us beyond what we already have. So could you just stop a little bit? Because you're kind of ruining my life because you're unhappy with yours. Could you just maybe try and follow the rules and try and engage in what we have and stop just wanting more? Just stop. But I don't think it's really in his nature to settle for what he knows. Even if what's out there is garbage, maybe he can make something of it. Whereas for her, she just wants what she has, and she wants it to be kind of perfect, which is equally impossible. So they're having like directly opposite reactions to the same experience they've had. Eden has been so overprotective and so limiting of what they can do. So Kyrie's determined to make it work and determined to have it be enough and to sort of do everything and be perfect because she romanticizes it. Whereas Callow is desperate to just run away and try something new. Anything would be better, right? Definitely not projecting my own neuroses onto them. No, not at all. Let me know in the comments who you're more like. Are you more like try and make everything perfect within the known world, or smash it and move on? Because I definitely do both. Anyway, the next morning has dawned, the chicken coop is stankin' and the garden has bloomed. I do just enjoy the vibes of this lot. I'm kind of looking forward to moving. I've actually built the Gen 2 house this last week, which was super fun. And I may have got really into it, but that's way ahead, and for now we still have time. So let's focus up and finish up Gen 1. Which means Eden sat with her herbalism book for the foreseeable, and in the background you can see our new purchases which we got from the squatter ruins. We got a punching bag. This is from Ravisheen's Filthy Fabulous, and also on the ground you can see I got like a little walkie-talkie radio, and this is because in addition to giving the kids more chores, I feel like Eden would definitely want them to become capable of defending themselves. Obviously, she will teach them how to make poisons and be sneaky, but ultimately sometimes you do have to be able to twist and punch your way out of trouble. So we're getting that started before the Finchwick Fair, and also it'll hopefully help the kids work some of their rage out not on each other. And Callow's also continuing to write in his journal as his little outlet whilst Kyrie works in her garden and with her beloved chickens. And we have got another chick. Please be a hen. Please be a hen. Now I've realised how big these chicks are in comparison to the Sims. They freak me out a little bit, honestly. But yeah, there we go. And Callow's also having a go at laundry because this is not a gendered thing. It's literally just they will be taking turns because apparently they constantly generate laundry. Seriously, how many clothes are they wearing? This is the apocalypse. It's not realistic at all, but what can you do? Just keep scrubbing, just keep scrubbing. What do? We scrub. And read herbalism books. Honestly, at the moment, things are pretty grindy. So you will see me cutting through a fair amount of not very eventful footage in an effort to make it to the end of this generation before you or I die of boredom. And that actually seems a good enough place to end this week's episode. I would like to thank you all for watching as ever. If you've enjoyed this video and you would like to see more from me, why don't you pop down, give me a little subscribe, and let me know in the comments what kind of stuff you'd like to see, more of this, other things, any challenges you'd recommend actually, because I'm considering starting one on stream. Let me know in the chitty chat team, and I'll see you in the next one. Love you, bye!